To that. And Reince, one of the things that Wendell said is that the White House feels that partisanship right now is the only thing really going to keep this jobs plan from passing in any form. And that's the question we have for you today, as someone that speaks for the Republican National Committee. Is the script already written as far as the response to the president's plan tonight, or are you open to some of these ideas that the president will present?
Well, I think the speaker's made it pretty clear now, Jenna, that obviously he's going to be listening for common ground. I'm sure the Republicans that are there obviously are going to be looking for common ground, and I think that's what America wants too. Unfortunately, what we're seeing here, Jenna, is that the president just continues to be tone deaf. I mean, I listened as well to that report, and we've got the president coming through with yet, more stimulus, more unemployment checks, it's just more of the same. And unfortunately, I think the American people in this country are just glazed over and sick and tired of these speeches. And quite frankly, although people are desperate for change and desperate for an America to get back on track, we've got a president who just doesn't get it. And, it sounds like he's just going to propose more of the same things that didn't work the first time.
As far as the Republicans' plan for job growth, some of the themes that we've seen from several of the Republican candidates so far is tax reform and regulation reform. David Axelrod had this to say about the field of Republicans right now and the Republican ideas. He says, "I'd be more worried if I saw some compelling new argument for how to lead the country, but these guys are carrying the same old water." What's your response to that?
Well, the same old water, like what? Like to get the EPA out of the warehouses across America that are shutting down businesses, like the the National Labor Relations Administration that are telling thousands of jobs for Boeing that they can't relocate in South Carolina. I mean, David Axelrod and this president have nearly destroyed this economy in 2.5 years, and their answer to the problem is to double down with yet another speech that Americans are sick and tired of. So, I think that we need to get serious about putting people back to work and good-paying jobs again in America. And right now, this president is content with speeches and forensic contests to see obviously how well he can deliver to a joint session of Congress that we just don't need.
Reince, just a final question here about the election overall. I was looking at a report put out by the Democratic National Committee about the Tea Party policies and whether or not Republicans are taking on those extreme, as they call them, policies for job creation policies as well. So they were mixing the Tea Party movement and the Republican Party together and attacking both. My question for you is, do you accept the Tea Party movement as part of the Republican Party? Is that the way that you view the Tea Party movement, or is this something separate? And the reason why I'm asking this is I'm curious of whether or not you're preparing for a third-party candidate to enter the race, and whether or not you're working against that.
Well, no. We're not. I believe that the Republican Party is part of the conservative fiscal movement in this country that includes Republicans, some Democrats, a lot of independents that believe, and as a matter of fact, this president himself promised that he would cut the deficit in half his first term. He didn't deliver on that. He promised that he would get the debt under control. He's put us on a trajectory to oblivion here in 2.5 years. So I would say that the issues that matter to the Tea Party, the debt, the deficit, jobs, the economy, those are the same issues that the Republican National Committee believe in. And guess what? Those are the same issues that most Americans believe in. And that's why the Democrats and the DNC can continue to play small ball. They want to talk about evolution. They want to talk about the Tea Party and everything else, except for the fact that this president and the Democrats have nearly destroyed this economy in 2.5 years. That's going to be their problem. That's why this president is going to be a one-termer next year in November.
Right, so we'll see what happens tonight with the jobs plan and see if some of that common ground that you mentioned is found. In the meantime, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate the time.
All right, go Packers, Jenna.